Welcome to the Fox 54 Weekend Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's the only place in North Alabama to get this week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Our top stories this week: a shooting at a Georgia's Fort Stewart prompted questions about security on Redstone Arsenal. And the Space and Missile Defense Symposium was in town with visitors from around the globe talking about the latest in defense technology. Redstone Arsenal is currently assessing its security protocols and attack response readiness after the attack on U.S. Army installation Fort Stewart, which ended with 5 Army personnel shot by a fellow soldier. Fort Stewart was locked down for several hours yesterday afternoon after a gunman opened fire. According to officials, those 5 soldiers are all expected to survive. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us how that shooting in Georgia affects people here on Redstone Arsenal.
Redstone Arsenal is working to keep its gates and facilities safe after the attack at Fort Stewart just yesterday. Garrison staff saying their protocols deter most threats before they even become a problem. But even that doesn't guarantee 100% security. The shooter at Fort Stewart is believed to be an active military member, meaning they got through several checkpoints with a personal weapon.
No matter how much security we put in place, there's always that slight chance that something will get through.
Here on Redstone Arsenal, a security staffing cut of 15% closed Gate 8 during the weekdays. But officials say highly trained gate officers, cooperation with local law enforcement, internal checkpoints, and workplace policies are all part of the defense plan to keep the base safe. Brian Reinwald with Garrison Command says if you see something, say something.
When something just doesn't seem right, if they're not acting themselves or they're saying things that maybe make the hair on the back of your neck stand up or something, speak up. Call the authorities, call your security office, your police.
Nancy Becker with the veteran-focused Invisible Warriors says there's always a concern for safety, but she adds that people can internalize those anxieties, turning their concerns into potentially crippling fears.
You look at high schools, you look at elementary schools, you look at things like this happening all over, and in today's day and age, who knows? So there's always a concern that somebody's gonna go off and do something like that.
Others here in Huntsville say to prevent a tragedy like at Fort Stewart, people must seek out the mental health services they need. That includes active military, veterans, civilians, and military families.
Everybody, no matter what your walk of life is or your life experience up to this point, everybody deals with some sort of a mental health crisis in one form or another, whether it's combat related or family related, just loss of a family member through natural causes, or if it's by suicide. Try to figure out what resources are available or what it is that the individual may need to overcome whatever struggle they're having.
Despite the recent attack at Fort Stewart, those here in Huntsville are saying they're ready for the worst. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The Veterans Affairs Office in Birmingham saying there are resources all across the state if you or a loved one struggle with thoughts of self-harm or violence. The Army also has mental health professionals on standby for active duty and reserve military members. Information about how to access these resources is on fox54.com. Tonight, we start at the Von Braun Center, where the Space and Missile Defense Symposium kicked off this morning for the 3-day event. Organizers are expecting more than 8,000 people to come through the VBC, representing 48 states and 12 different countries. And for those organizers, they say it grew from just a small meeting to a worldwide spectacle.
We've grown from, it started out just as a technical meeting where a bunch of engineers got together and talked about technical stuff that you and I probably wouldn't understand. And it grew into a conference and then now to this big symposium.
Defense contractors flocked to this year's Space and Missile Defense Symposium with one point of focus: the Golden Dome for America. The Trump administration calls it a huge step forward in our nation's defense. Huntsville-based Cummings Aerospace sees it as a huge opportunity.
We're really excited about the Golden Dome opportunity and bringing forward our not only our missile defense background, but UAS capabilities that we're showcasing here at the show for Golden Dome. We're looking forward to the summit on Thursday, looking forward to learning more about the requirements and upcoming contract opportunities for Golden Dome and seeing how we can contribute to the warfighter.
For defense contractor AV, which has a hub here in the Rocket City, the symposium is a chance to showcase the company's Locust weapon system, which uses lasers to shoot down missiles.
It will have the capability to defend all the assets that are doing those kind of missions from other internal attacks, from other drones, from small aircraft. even from subsonic and supersonic and time cruise missiles.
The event draws some of the biggest names in defense contracting, and plenty of small businesses are here to pitch their products to those larger companies.
The event has been really welcoming, and it just went off without a hitch. I mean, it's just everybody you want to meet in one place and a welcoming environment to give a pitch and let them know what you're working on.
Initiatives from the city of Huntsville are also making an impact, with Cyber Huntsville bringing awareness for local cybersecurity companies.
We touch businesses, hospitals, Redstone Arsenal, the city of Huntsville, and all others. So as part of the community, it's important for us to be here at SMD, important to reach out, and important to get that awareness that cybersecurity underlies everything. Even when we're putting stuff into outer space, we still have to worry about it being secure.
Well, this week, the VBC is set to host one of the biggest missile defense events in the country. The Space and Missile Defense Symposium is set to kick off tomorrow, but today, Lockheed Martin told FOX54 about their plans for the event. The defense contractor made it clear that the theme for this year for them is the Golden Dome, and for Lockheed Martin, they want to use the event to work with smaller companies on the proposed weapons system.
This year in particular, we're really looking forward to all of the buzz around Golden Dome. It's an exceptional opportunity for us to bring all of industry together to deliver for the nation. So as we walk the halls of SMDS this year and we engage with our colleagues, that's what we'll be looking for. How can Lockheed Martin partner across all of these companies to bring that what's going to really be required to deliver on this feat that will be Golden Dome?
When looking past the event, Brown believes that Golden Dome for America is going to bring a large amount of growth to the area.
It's growth. It is continued growth within this area. Huntsville, if it's anything, has always been the birthplace of innovation for missile defense. The people here in this community are exceptional at owning the mission, and that's what this is going to take. Everyone coming together, owning the outcome, not from a business perspective, but from a country perspective. So I'm really looking forward to what it will do for Huntsville-Madison that's going to continue to grow this area.
Brown adds the company is currently planning to base all personnel working on the project in Huntsville if Lockheed Martin is granted the contract for the Golden Dome weapons system.
What's new in the Rocket City this week? 2 new facilities open, increasing manufacturing and missile defense capabilities in the Rocket City. And the Huntsville Sky Bridge is a go.
Huntsville is called the Rocket City for a reason, with L3 Harris opening a new solid rocket engine manufacturing hub today. The company showcased their new advanced manufacturing facility's south building near the Port of Huntsville in an opening ceremony. The new building joins the advanced manufacturing facility in northern Huntsville, alongside other sites in Arkansas and Virginia. The new facility, AMF South, will have a different mission from the AMF North facility.
The AMF North, is what we call it, is going to focus on large solid rocket motors. The interceptors that we're building today will continue to be built at the AMF North, and this facility will handle our small to medium tactical size motors. The components that we're making here go into the solid rocket motor, and they're critical to the fit, form, and function of that solid rocket motor to meet the mission that we need to meet.
When asked why L3 Harris chose to expand their base of operations in Huntsville, Farley told FOX54 that the talent base and local government support here were deciding factors.
We have a tremendous base already in Huntsville, over 700 people. That's grown from a handful of people about 8 to 10 years ago, and we're continuing to grow, and really this facility helps us accelerate that growth here in Huntsville. The state government, as well as the city of Huntsville, are great partners. And then, our workforce here at Huntsville is some of the best workforce that I've ever worked with in 25 years of manufacturing.
L3 Harris is expecting to add over 100 jobs with the new facility, which will be added over the coming months.
A new facility coming to Redstone Arsenal today, posturing the Rocket City to be the hub for President Trump's Golden Dome and maybe even Space Force headquarters. The new Digital Simulation and Analytics Center will have an impact on the future of missile defense. Redstone leaders and others welcoming the center Thursday. Today, you can see they cut the ribbon. They tell us it'll play an integral role in future operations of the Space and Missile Defense Command Tech Complex. Systems Integration Division Chief Justin Novak spoke about what this facility will do, including virtual testing of technology to determine if it's ready to be used by the United States Army.
This is the center, this is the hub for the Technology Center complex. So it will stimulate hardware systems both within this area and the buildings that are existing, but also all the other buildings that are coming in the Technology Center complex. The simulations that this facility would run are characterized directed energy assets so that we test those systems out, those cutting edge technology systems out in a virtual battlefield as opposed to on a test range for the first time, to make sure that the soldiers are equipped with the most lethal and efficient technologies that the nation can provide. It's very critical in resource constrained environments. This technology allows us to do many more testings than we could ever achieve on a test range in the real world, and allows us to put digital systems and real world systems in scenarios that we could just envision on future conflicts.
This complex will host other development facilities in the future, which will be home to further innovation and development. Officials say this facility took years of planning to develop and construct. We now know when construction on a multi-million-dollar pedestrian bridge in Huntsville will begin. The city says construction on the Huntsville Sky Bridge begins next year. The Sky Bridge will be built over Memorial Parkway and Governor's Drive. It's part of a master project to develop West Huntsville along Pinhook Creek. Construction was delayed as the city looked to get funding to complete the project. Now the city is continuing to plan the area around Pinhook Creek.
A lot of planning is going on. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that's being done by the planning department, and then also working with the housing authority, meeting with Huntsville Hospital, the grocery store franchise has already been secured. But all these things are coming together, and it's going to be a great project.
The entire project will cost more than $300 million, which Kling says is funded through federal grants. The city of Huntsville plans to have the entire project completed at the same time as the Sky Bridge. Most students are back in classrooms across the Tennessee Valley. Let's take a look at a few special events that help get them there.
It's a look good, feel good mentality for some students on their way back to class after summer break. One way students can feel confident walking back into the classroom is with a fresh haircut. A local nonprofit is continuing an annual event today with their Braid-a-thon, providing kids with free haircuts before the bell rings for the first time.
We're doing braids, we're doing lock retwists, we're doing haircuts for the boys. It is an event to try to give back to the community and to help alleviate those costs for the parents so they don't have to worry about that styling cost coming out of their pockets.
The 5th annual Braid-a-thon provides free hairstyling for 6th through 12th grade students headed back to class. CNI Solutions President Charles Fry says there was a high demand this year, filling up 400 slots quickly, plus a wait list.
We started off with 100, and ever since then it's grown to 250, then to 300, then 450. So we've been hovering around 450 to 500 now. It says to me a lot about the economy, for one. Anytime that we can fill up these slots that fast and then have a wait list of 85 people on a wait list, that's telling me that there are people in need.
Many volunteer stylists showing up for Sunday's event, knowing how good it feels to go back to school feeling good about your hair.
It was very, very important to feel good. It makes you do better, perform well during the school year. So just being able to come in looking nice, feeling your best, it'll give you a little more effort to try harder during the school year. They love it, doing their hair and them liking the style. They're saying, thank you so much, I love my hair. And me just reinforcing positive energy, just telling them have a good school year, try your hardest, do your best. It makes me feel well and they also feel good physically.
When these children get their heads done and they are feeling good, they're proud, they feel good about themselves, that allows for a different type of attitude in the classroom. They feel a little bit more confident about what they're doing and why they're there, as opposed to not feeling themselves and not feeling good about the way they look.
Charles Fry tells me there were hairstylists from across North Alabama who also volunteered for the event, and they're already excited to bring Braid-a-thon back again next year.
A trade school in Decatur is sweeping up after a full day of free haircuts ahead of the first day of class. Former students plugged in their shears and got to work, getting kids confident for a successful school year. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo brings us to the barbershop.
Career Academies of Decatur, or CAD, is kicking off the school year in its own way by giving back to the community. The Technical High School's barbering program is giving away free haircuts and washes today to get kids in town ready for the first week of class.
It's no money, and people were generous enough to help us. And it's not like you can do this every day.
The school brought in some former students to help out, and those students took off from their own jobs to spend most of the day snipping, shearing, and shaving the kids who stopped in. That's all to give them confidence, something instructors here say is critical for a student's success.
A lot of people don't realize, but a good haircut can take a young person, an older person, a long way. It can change the whole dynamic of their life. You walk up with your head high, and you're looking forward to learning. And I just really believe a good haircut has to do with all of everything that goes on in the school.
And local parents saying it helps them amidst all the other stress of getting ready for school.
It means ease, and honestly, it was good for them because they were motivated to do it. And you know, and it's like, okay, kids, I'm cutting your hair. They just, no, I don't want mom to cut my hair, you know, because I've messed up a few times, but you know. So this is exciting because they're getting a real life experience that they do like. And so, you know, as a mom of 5, I'm trying to cut all the costs I can in all the different ways. So this is huge, actually, for us.
The program is limited to local students aged 5 through 18, and this is CAD's first annual round of free haircuts with plenty more to come. In Decatur, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
How cool is that? Well, the event ran today from 9 to 3. Appointments were required, with parents booking their child's preferred slot ahead of time. But several there say that little bit of help made the back-to-school process much easier. The transition from high school to college can be a challenging one for many students. Some young adults will be headed to the University of Alabama, Birmingham in a few weeks, and they're already getting started by making new connections. UAB hosted nearly 300 future Blazers at the freshman send-off event at Stovehouse earlier tonight. This gives students a chance to connect with their future classmates and UAB alum about how they can make the most out of their experience. It gives these future Blazers a chance to get to know others locally before they arrive on campus.
It's a chance for them to mingle, to start networking, and they also just get to meet each other as well, because Huntsville obviously is the largest city in the state of Alabama population-wise now. So even though they all live in the same area, a lot of them have never met each other before. So it's a chance to already get to a place where you've got a collective of friends set before you even step foot on campus.
It's very important because I wouldn't be scared to introduce myself to other people in the class, and I'll be going to campus comfortable, knowing I have friends already there, and instead of going to campus uncomfortable and nervous.
Best of luck to the Blazers. UAB officials say they're welcoming around 2,100 freshmen this fall. Classes are set to begin at the end of this month, August 25th.
It's not just elementary, middle, and high schoolers going back to class. University students are also making their way back to campuses, some even for the first time ever. It's day one of registration and move-in days for Oakwood University's new and transferring students. Many families were on campus today moving in the new class. Helping those new students are a group of upperclassmen called Navigators. You see them right there. They're bringing the energy to the new school year and guiding the incoming class through the move-in process.
Coming in, obviously, you know, it's a new environment. Your parents aren't with you. You're stepping into adulthood. And so having those peers who are older than you, who have been in your shoes before, cheer you on, show you the ropes, and just be a mentor of sorts.
They stayed in contact with us throughout the year, so it was really helpful to have someone who knew the ropes, you know, kind of show us around and really be a source of guidance from a state of wisdom and maturity.
Oakwood University officials tell Fox 54 they'll be welcoming roughly 300 new students this semester. Returning students will be making their way back to campus throughout the week.
The search for Ronald Dumas Jr., a Huntsville realtor missing since December, continues with the family announcing their next steps in their quest for answers. In light of all the recent developments in Dumas' case, his family and friends gathered at Stovehouse earlier this evening to speak with us about their hopes for finding their father, nephew, and friend. The most recent update in the search, billboards showing Dumas the $7,500 reward for information and the suspects in his case. They will cycle 7 different formats for the billboard across northern Alabama, southern Tennessee, and northern Mississippi.
It all helps.
specifically the billboards for the people that don't watch the 5 o'clock news, and being that we can target these in certain neighborhoods at certain times of day during rush hour traffic and park these billboards where people will see them, that I think is going to help a lot.
Hopefully somebody sees the billboard and says, hey, I know something. I seen that guy on December the 14th, 16th. And, I saw him here, and here with them. And then that leads to the actual information to actually close this case.
I am the guy that he was on his way to. And it's tough dealing with that because, I wish I would have been with him that night. Maybe we would have made a better decision or got ourselves away from the situation. But, we can't talk about that now. All we can do is think about find them and do what we can to find them.
We have so many unanswered questions. I'm happy that there's been movement in the case. I'm happy that we have 2 suspects in custody, but I won't rest and I won't feel at peace until we know exactly what happened that night.
If you know anything about Ronald Dumas' disappearance, go to crimedesk.tips or call 256-254-4240. Let's wrap up this week with a look at how the community came together to help men in need, one pair of sneakers at a time.
Welcome back. We told you about a sneaker drive happening a couple weeks ago, benefiting homeless men in need of new sneakers. The drive, set up by Empowerment Through Change, crushed their goal, collecting well over 100 pairs to distribute. It's in honor of these two. This is the son and granddaughter of Empowerment Through Change Executive Director Rosemary Jordan. Her son, you see on the left, was murdered in 2007. Granddaughter on the right, shot and killed in a 2023 shooting. Once her son's body was discovered, his feet was the only thing Rosemary was able to see to identify him. The two loved ones had their own love for sneakers. At least 129 pairs of sneakers were collected in the organization's first ever sneaker drive, and those were distributed today. Take a listen.
People dropped off sneakers at various locations. We picked them up, we sized them, we tagged them, and then we brought them out today.
Hundreds of sneakers all lined up, and even some more waiting to be put on display were ready to be distributed to the homeless community.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see that the community has come together and brought out these shoes.
And all of these shoes, ranging in all brands, colors, and sizes, came from community donations. The 100 sneaker drive brought by Empowerment Through Change ended a few weeks ago, but shoes were still coming in on Saturday. Jacqueline Jefferson, a volunteer, says it's easy to take something like a fresh pair of sneakers for granted.
We have people walk around here don't have shoes, have holes in their shoes, dirty shoes, and we have like 100 pair of shoes just lying in the closet, and we never wear them. When I get up and get dressed in the morning to go to church, I'm trying to find the proper pair of shoes to wear with my selection. And these homeless people out here, they don't even know if they have a pair of shoes to put on, not even a pair of socks.
Our feet are so important. Our feet carry our body. So if we don't have on the right shoes, then it can cause us not to function well. It can cause our mental not to function well, our physical not to function well, and definitely our spiritual. So it is important that our feet are covered with the best shoes that we can possibly cover them with.
Recipients of the sneakers lining up early this morning, barely waiting to lace up their new shoes.
My first ever pair of Vans. I loved them when I was a kid. I never been able to afford them.
And Executive Director Rosemary Jordan, amazed by the end result, but knew her community would show up for the cause.
I live in a city and I'm surrounded by people with a lot of love.
During my time there this morning, I spoke to others in the homeless community who also received a pair of sneakers today, all of them saying they were blessed to walk away with new shoes.
A wonderful way to give back. Thank you for watching Fox 54's Weekend Review. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you great programming with in-depth local specials, locked on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees. Have a great weekend.